Okay, I've held my tongue for far too long on this topic. It's time to rant about the scientifically disproven concept that the Earth's shape is flat. It's round, it's a ball, it's a bloody sphere, people. I don't understand how people can't believe that this contrived drivel that the Earth is flat, when we know it's round. My word. Today, we are going into detail on the theories and why they're wrong. Might get a little twisted on this one, so be prepared, folks. Despite things pissing me off to no avail, I believe, just done over 30 seconds, and due to the YouTube algorithm, so I can now swear, for fuck's sake, the Earth is not flat, you people are the worst. So, why does it annoy me? Because it's fucking stupid. And why do we think it's fucking stupid? Well, the idea itself is insane alone. But what is even more surprising are the ridiculous lengths that the actual genuine flat earthers will go to not only avoid sound scientific logic, but also how far they'll try to justify their beliefs to others. Fuck me, this is going to give me an aneurysm. I guess the starting point is to discuss why people don't believe the Earth is round, and why they are so keen to believe this flat idea. People who wear tinfoil hats believe that the deep state, or NASA specifically, are hiding the truth behind the shape of our planet, resulting in a small sect of flat earthers, or morons, who think that the globe is wrong. All based on a conspiracy with little to no objective evidence to prove that the Earth is flat. This is an image of what they believe. The edge of the world being Antarctica, so that the water stays perfectly in place. Because of course they'd need some reason to justify why the water just doesn't fall off the edge. I mean, that's just stupid. And if this was true, then I hope global warming accelerates so that the entirety of human existence can flow off the edge of it, because my god, what have we come to? But the wider belief is actually that beyond this Antarctic ice ring is that a new civilization is out there, a grander civilization with the resources we need, and that it's been kept from us. The shadowy deep state want to keep those secrets from us, and, of course, the flat earthers know the truth. So if that's the case, then I hope one of you can just traverse over the polar ice caps and tell us what's on the other side. The idea that the Earth is flat also seeks to disprove that the Earth revolves around the sun, but instead that the Earth is stationary. We as a species have developed our knowledge and understanding of the world around us, but more specifically, the Earth itself. Yes, one day in the past it was entirely reasonable to assume that the Earth was flat. You know, before science came along. You can look across the horizon and see that things are, aside from hills and mountains, genuinely pretty flat. Even when you're high up, the curvature of the Earth is so minimal, it's difficult to see that the Earth is actually rounded. However, and this is where a lot of the logic goes out of the window for people that believe this, is that if you were looking over the horizon, say at a ship that was going over the horizon and then disappeared, it would disappear. Now, there's a reason for that, and that's because the Earth is fucking round. If it was flat, that would not happen. You would continue to see it go further and further away. So you'd think that that alone would prove that the Earth is round. But beyond that groundbreaking idea, SpongeBob, we have technology. We know for a fact that the Earth is not flat. So what reasons do flat earthers have to believe that it isn't round? Well, a fundamental concept of our reality is gravity. You trip, you fall, you break your teeth. Thanks, gravity. You know, the gravitational pull of the Earth which keeps us all grounded to this big ball of dirt which is floating around the endless blackness of space. But a flat earther believes that gravity, yes, that thing which we are subjected to every day of our existence, doesn't exist. Yes, apparently gravity doesn't exist, and that water will find its level. You know, because the Earth is flat and all. Apparently. This is apparently the case, as if it were any other shape than flat, it would fall off the edge of the flat Earth. Look, you see the issue with the logic here? This idea on how water is flat is the only way to justify this belief, despite the fact that water can be in many shapes, including round water droplets. You know, like the roundness of our planet. At this point, I genuinely don't know if people actually believe this or if they're just saying it to get a rise out of people, because it's bloody working, folks. And no, there's no room for claiming that if you had a powerful enough telescope that you could see it in the distance, because no, you can't, it's gone below the horizon. And Something else on that topic as well, which just drives me bonkers, is that we do have powerful enough telescopes. They look out into space. We can see planets millions of miles away. And I'm pretty sure that those telescopes can certainly see to the horizon and beyond if it was flat. But it's not, because it's round. Flat earthers seem to have a very low standard of evidence for what they choose to believe, and an impossibly high standard of evidence for what they don't believe. That's the general gist of what I'm getting here. They say that you should trust your eye and look at how things are, because it's of course flat. Fine. Believe that if you want to. But they then go a step further and try and disprove that the Earth isn't bloody round, despite having nothing to show it's flat. One thing they commonly point to are flight paths and the question as to why planes take certain flight paths if the Earth was round, trying to argue that it would make more sense if it was the flat Earth model. You know, without having really any scientific knowledge or background or even navigational knowledge to place such a belief on. It just seems conjecture. This is quite frankly ridiculous. I mean, flights are constantly adjusting the altitude and the direction around the globe. If they were flat and it was a straight line, we would have really none of that to worry about. I even read that there is a belief among some flat earthers, and my god, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but some, not all, some would make you believe that whilst on board a plane, NASA come round and knock you out with gas. They then come and change the times on people's watches to make people think they've not been on the flight as long as they have. I genuinely worry for people. I mean, if people actually think this is the case, well, what have you been smoking? Because I don't want to have some if so. I don't think I could have thought of that in a million years. Okay, look, I understand this is starting to get a bit everywhere, but like I said, stupidity only gives me so much patience. So let's bring it back to brass tacks. Look, I'm no scientist, and whilst everything I'm saying is based on things that I've studied or read from reputable sources, the proof is in the pudding, folks. Studies that have come from people smarter than me, and I base my beliefs on those results, and ultimately, facts. If you don't believe that the Earth's round, someone got into a rocket, went into space and took a picture of the Earth to prove it was round. Unless you want to try and claim that that's Photoshop, I don't know what to tell you. And that is a very common thing that is said, that if you have evidence that proves that the Earth is round, then the explanation is simply that, well, it's obviously fake. An easy get out of jail free, that one, isn't it? If you don't agree with it, it must be fake. A very tunnel-visioned approach. The conclusion should not come before the research, guys. This does make me legitimately sad that people can be quite gullible and believe this is true, especially with the advent of the internet, where anyone can say anything, and provided you get enough people to back you, then a small sect can have a big voice, even if it's fundamentally untrue. I think the other aspect of this as well is that even if they don't quite have the evidence to prove what they're believing, they'll believe it anyway, because it's something where they can feel that they are better. Hear me out here. So, if you're talking to a flat earther and you say, no, it's ridiculous, your ideas are flawed and have no logic behind them, fine. The flat earther will think, well, that's okay, because I know the truth and you're just a sheep that's following what everyone tells you. Show me some categorical evidence that it's flat. Not just with your eye. If it is indeed a fucking flat disc or whatever NASA come up with in order to justify such a conspiracy, and that our fundamental understanding of how the world works is not true, please tell me. Like, comment, subscribe, the Earth is fucking round. Those of you that would disagree are fucking stupid.